The Craigslist Killer case is one of the most disturbing examples of how the internet can be used as a weapon. This story is not just about murder, but about trust, deception, and how an ordinary-looking man used online platforms to target his victims without raising suspicion. For years, he operated quietly, hiding behind anonymity, until investigators finally uncovered the truth. The man, later known as the Craigslist Killer, appeared completely normal. He had no criminal image, no violent reputation, and no obvious warning signs. To the outside world, he was simply another user browsing online advertisements. But behind the screen, he was searching for vulnerable individuals, carefully selecting victims he believed could be manipulated and controlled. Craigslist at the time was widely used for personal ads, casual meetings, and job listings. It was a place where people trusted strangers based on short descriptions and messages. The killer understood this system perfectly. He knew how to write messages that sounded safe, polite, and convincing. He never appeared aggressive. Instead, he presented himself as calm, respectful, and trustworthy. The first crimes did not immediately attract attention. The victims came from different backgrounds and locations. Some were meeting him for financial reasons, others for companionship. In each case, the initial contact seemed harmless. Friends and family had no reason to worry. There were no threats, no alarming messages, and no signs of danger before the meetings. As time passed, several women went missing after responding to online ads. In some cases, they were later found murdered. At first, law enforcement treated each case separately. The crimes happened in different areas, and there was little physical evidence connecting them. Without a clear suspect, the investigation struggled to move forward. The breakthrough came when investigators began comparing details from multiple cases. They noticed similarities in how the victims were contacted and where they were last seen. In several instances, Craigslist advertisements were involved. Phone records showed repeated use of prepaid phones, making it difficult to trace the suspect. However, the pattern was becoming clearer. Witnesses described a man who appeared calm and controlled. He never rushed, never panicked, and never seemed threatening. This behavior made him even more dangerous. Psychologists later explained that such individuals often rely on patience and emotional manipulation rather than force. Eventually, police identified a suspect whose online activity matched the timelines of the crimes. Surveillance was initiated, and investigators monitored his movements closely. What they saw was unsettling. He continued to live a normal life, showing no signs of guilt or fear. This calm behavior further convinced investigators that they were dealing with a highly controlled individual. When the arrest finally took place, it was the result of careful planning rather than chance. Investigators had gathered enough digital evidence, witness statements, and location data to move forward. During questioning, the suspect initially denied any involvement. He spoke confidently and attempted to distance himself from the victims. As the interrogation continued, evidence was slowly presented. Online messages, phone records, and timelines contradicted his statements. Piece by piece, his story began to collapse. Eventually, he admitted to using Craigslist to contact his victims. He described how he selected them and arranged meetings, believing he could avoid detection. The confession revealed chilling details. He spoke without emotion, focusing on actions rather than consequences. Investigators noted the lack of remorse, a trait often associated with psychopathic behavior. To him, the crimes were not personal. They were calculated decisions. During the trial, prosecutors emphasized the role of technology in enabling the crimes. They showed how anonymity and trust were exploited. The jury was presented with a clear narrative that connected all the evidence. There was little doubt left about his guilt. The verdict was guilty. The sentence ensured he would never be free again. For the families of the victims, the trial brought a sense of closure, but it could not undo the loss they had suffered. The case left a lasting impact on how online platforms were viewed by the public and by law enforcement. The Craigslist Killer case serves as a powerful warning. It shows how easily trust can be abused and how dangerous anonymity can be in the wrong hands. Not every threat looks like a criminal. Sometimes it looks like a normal message on a screen. This was the Craigslist Killer, a solved true crime case that changed the way people think about online safety and trust.